Okay, here we go. Almost. There we go. Hi! Welcome. Good morning, afternoon. I guess it's afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. Morning if you're further east. So thank you guys for joining me. I am super excited to have you here. I have a really fun project for you guys that I think you're going to love. And I'll just show a little picture of it real quick. So we're going to be knotting this bracelet with super duos. And I have several kits still available on the website, and then I have little mixes where you can make your own kits. So I'm actually going to be doing one today. It is my own little kit that I whipped up with some of the custom seed bead duos that I've put together. Hi guys, so glad to have you here. Thank you for joining me. I know, Wanda, about that licensing stuff. There's actually on Facebook, in case anyone makes videos, you can use some free music from Facebook. They have actually some videos, music that you can use that I've been using for other videos that I do. Oh, I feel like I need to take a deep breath. I'm too excited to be here. All right, guys, I'm going to do a little shopkeeping before I start because I don't want to feel like I'm in a rush and won't be able to share all the good stuff with you guys. So we have the beads and kits at humblebeads.com for this weekend, still today, through all of today. With every $50 purchase you do at humblebeads.com, you get a free pair of these disc beads. So these are my chrysanthemum disc beads, and you can earn as many as your purchase goes. So for every $50 that you spend, you get a free pair of disc beads, and I'll try to match them up to your order. Okay. Thank you, Andrew, for the little vote of confidence. I don't feel nervous. I just feel like I'm always like rushing at the last minute to get everything done. And I do have to have a steady hand for this knotting project. So we're going to turn over to the table and get started right away. So let's pop over here. I have a little supply list for you guys. So we're going to be using a Humblebeads house bead, and these are polymer clay beads that I make by hand and hand paint. And then we have brass charms or pewter charms. I'm actually, for my piece that I'm using here, I went with silver colors. So I have a little bird charm, and then my toggle is a little bit fancier than the one I used in the kit, and so I'll show you the kit one in a second. But I wanted to use silver, so that's what I'm going with for that. We're going to use 88 inches of 2-ply waxed linen, and you want to cut that 88 inches into 2 strands of 44. So you're going to have 2 strands of 44 inches of waxed linen to get started. And then you'll have super duos, which are the little 2-hole seed beads. Well, glass beads. They're not really seed beads. They're called super duos, and that's what these are. And they come in all different colors. And I put together a whole bunch of really fun color mixes for you guys that match my beads perfectly. And then you'll need a 5mm jump ring. You'll actually need a little head pin too, and a glass bead. We have a 12mm hibiscus flower, and then a little 6x8 bell flower. And then I didn't put this on the list, but you don't need this, but I like to add a little extra on my bracelet. So I have 2 little tiny copper spacers. You could use any spacers or seed beads at the end of our bracelet, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing with those. So let's take this off. I'm going to talk about color real quick. So this is my little custom mix that I created for the blue bead here, and this is like you would put your own kit together for this one. These are the 2 colors that I had for the kits. So I have 3 options that I pulled, and each of these would work with the wax linen. And so let's talk about color choices with wax linen and why you may want to pick one color from another. So you can see on this bracelet the knots really stand out, and the cord is actually an integral part of the design. And you want to use contrasting colors or contrasting values to make this pop out. So for this one, if I wanted to make my knots stand out, I would go for the lighter purple color, and then you would see your knots really distinctly. Now, if I wanted to do a piece similar to this where the knots kind of disappear, that's where I would use a darker color. And so that's what actually the one I'm going to use for this. I'm going to use this dark color. And then my third option would be, say I wanted to play up the blue of my color mix more, or I wanted to have a closer match to my focal bead, I would go with this blue color. So those are some things to consider when you're picking out your wax linen. Excuse me. Is that the colors that you pick for the wax linen will actually change the look of your design. So even though the beads will be exactly the same, each color that you paired it up with will change the look of the bracelet. Did you guys know color's totally relative, and that colors change, the way we view colors change according to what it's next to? So that's one of the reasons to consider your options when you're doing wax linen designs. You want to pick a color that you either want to have stand out, a color that's going to kind of fade into the background, or one that's going to play up your focal bead. Now, I am excited about this. I learned a new trick. Always love a new trick. So I have my 2 inches of 44 wax linen, and I'm just going to put this at the bottom and leave that there because I know that's what everyone's going to ask about as they join. So my little trick is you can polish your wax linen before you start, and this will help your beads go on a little bit smoother, and it will sorry, lost my train of thought when I saw the question. It will eliminate the gunk of the wax when you are putting smaller beads on, how the wax kind of builds up as you push your beads down. So what you're going to do is take a piece of paper bag, just a piece cut up, and you're actually going to polish your wax linen by putting it in the center and just running it through, holding it tight. So I'm pinching this tightly and running it through, and you can do that 2 or 3 times, and this will polish your wax linen. I learned this from bookbinders, and so that's something they do to polish their wax linen before they get started, and it has definitely helped the process of beading with these smaller beads. Sherry, you asked if it's 2-ply or 4-ply in the kit, and it's 2-ply in the kit. So everything that you need for this design, for these 2 designs, either the little bird or the nest, has everything that you need for the bracelet in the kit. Okay. So you want to line up your 2 ends and pull your wax linen so that they're straight, and then find the center. So I have my center here. I'm going to move everything out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. You want to start with your bar part of your toggle when you're doing this, and that's because the bar part of your toggle is going to get the most pull and wear, and so you want to start where you're not going to have a knot at the end of it, but you want to have this strong, sturdy loop. Yeah, that is a good tip, isn't it? I was super excited to learn that. It's definitely made a big difference in how easy it is to do the wax linen. Okay, so I have my center here. I'm closing those together so that I can stick it through the loop on my toggle. Then I'm going to open the 2 strands and pull through the strands to make a lark's head knot. Pull that down really tightly. And now I'm going to do 2 knots. And these are going to be just overhand just regular knots like you tie a shoe. The trick is to keep all 4 of your pieces of cord together. And the reason I'm doing 2 knots, well, 3 knots in the end, is so that your little toggle will have some room to maneuver between the hole on the other half of the toggle. So this gives you a little space so that you don't get caught up in the little bead clusters that we're going to make. Just makes putting on your bracelet a little easier. So I've got 3 tight little knots there. And now what you want to do is, someone's watching at the grocery store. Oh, Fiend, that is some serious dedication. I love it. Okay, I'm going to separate these 4 strands. And what I want to pay attention to is which 2 strands are the top here. Make sure I get that nice and close. So these 2 strands are on the top, and these 2 strands are on the bottom. It's really important that you find the 2 strands that are on the top and the 2 that are on the bottom, because that's going to make a difference in how the design looks. So I'm going to trim these so that they're the same size at the end. And I have the 2 cords that are on the top. And I'm going to put my first bead on. Maybe. Alright, now you want to pull this all the way down. And if for some reason you didn't get them in the right order, you'll see that this one lay down correctly. It would have like 1 cord trying to stick up. And so the first 2 cords that are on the top, you're going to put 1 super duo, then turn your design over, trim your cords so they're the same length, and then you're going to pick another little trick is take your cord and twist it in the direction that it's twisting, and that will help your ends get a little tighter so they fit in a little easier. So I'm going to put my second super duo on. And pull that down to the bottom. So I have 1 in the front and 1 in the back. Make sure that's nice and clear for you guys. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take the 2 cords that are on the top here, but it's actually going to be a cord from this side, from the left side and the right side bead, but they're the ones that are on the top. That's clear as mud, right? So I have the 2 super duos. You can see here's the bottom hole and the top holes. So we're working on the top holes, and I have the cords from both of the beads. There we go, nice and even, clear. Okay. And I'm going to put the second bead on this cord, on these 2 cords. And slide that down. And then I'm going to take the 2 cords in the back, which are now the front because I flipped my design over. And you can see these are the 2 beads that are side by side, and I'm picking the cords from each of those 2 beads. And so I have, you can see I have the 2 sides and then the one bead is going in the front. And so now we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to grab the 2 top cords from each of those beads. And I'm going to string on the Super Duo. And I'm paying attention to what colors are on my little cluster here, because I want to vary the colors, even though it's quote unquote random. I am in charge of that randomness. Oops. Okay, make sure my little cords didn't get all tied up here. Oh, looks like I grabbed one from the wrong one, so I have to pull that off. Push these down nice and tight. Make sure you grab the 2 cords from the top. Really important. Once you get the rhythm started and you see the pattern, it goes much quicker. And it really goes quick when you're not on camera trying to be cool. Okay, oh, see, now I'm just going to leave that, but if I was doing this at home, I would switch that out because I wouldn't want 2 purple colors. So Nancy, you're asking if there's any crimps needed for this? No, this project is all knotting, and that's why we use the wax linen, because they hold the knots really well. And the wax kind of works like a glue, so you don't even have to glue anything. Okay, so just to be clear, I've turned my design over. This was the last bead that I did. I'm turning my design over, and I'm grabbing these first, the top 2 cords. And I'm going to stick my bead on. Maybe. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this down. So you want to make sure the beads are all laying nestled together. So I'm just pushing these down really tightly. And this is our first little cluster that I've made. So you can see I've just alternated the way the bead is laying on the cord. So we have 3 little rows of the beads, 2 beads on each row, and I'm going to take all 4 of the cords, wrap them around my finger, and then pull them through to tie a simple knot. And then push that knot down really tightly. Okay, now I'm going to start on the second cluster. And again, you want to Mira, however it works for you. We could call it, I think I'll just, let's see if I can explain it a little easier. By the time I get to the 6th cluster in the middle, we'll be experts at this. Okay, I have my 2 top cords. I'm going to stick my Super Duo on those 2 top cords. Okay, now I'm going to flip the design over, and I have the 2 cords on the back are now on the top. So I'm always going to be working on the top cords, and I'm just going to be flipping my design around each time to work on those cords. So that's the first row, and I'm going to turn my design over so that I have the cords from each bead from the first row. So I have this cord and this cord, and that's where I'm going to put my bead on, and working again on the top of the design. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, and now I have the 2 cords that are on the top here. So this is the second row. And so we can see the first row, I have the little skinny part of the bead, and then the second row, it's settled in there so you see the long part of the bead. And now we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to grab the cord from the top 2 beads here. Looking through your yeah, I'm probably saying top and bottom cords in the side-to-side cords. I don't like that. I'm picky. Okay. Okay, so you see how I've taken the cord from the left and the right bead here, and I'm using the top cords from each of those beads. And I'm going to turn this over, and I'm taking the cord from the top 2 beads here. And I will think about the clearest way and write up directions for you guys so that there's no confusion. But I think you can see you have 1 bead, and then I'm using, and then the second bead, and then I'm using the 2 cords that are on these 2 beads for the middle one. So I'm just alternating which cords I'm using each time. And we'll do this again. I'm gonna knot. Yeah, my little brain is not very linear or analytical. I'm just like, just do it this way, guys. So what I mean by the top cord is, as I have this held in my hand, I am separating the cords, and I'm looking for the 2 cords that are laying on the top. So I can see as I'm separating them, these 2 want to be the top cords. They're at the top. And then I have the 2 cords that are laying on the bottom. So that's what I mean by top and bottom. And I'm going to take those top 2 cords, and I'm going to put a super duo on both of these cords. So 1 super duo is going on both the cords. And I'm going to pull that down. And so now I'm going to turn this over, and I have the 2 cords on the top, and I'm going to slide on the super duo. So my first row, I have these two beads that are nestled side by side, and I'm working with the tops of the beads here, and I'm going to grab the top two cords, one from each side. So you can see I'm taking the top cords, and those are the two that I'm going to put the next bead on, so that they nestle together long and short, or short and long, I guess. Short, long, and then short. Okay. And I'm going to turn this over, and I'm grabbing the two cords that are on the top here, one from each bead. And I'm going to stick this, pull those all the way down. And now I'm going to grab the two beads. These are the two that I just finished. So I'm turning it so that I have two cords on the top again. And I'm going to take a cord from each bead that are on the top and put my next super duo. And it does take a little patience to get those little guys on there. Okay, and I've turned it over. So this was my last bead. I'm flipping it over, and I'm going to put the next bead on the cord from each of these two. I want to push those down all really tight so that they're all nestled together, nice and snug. And now I'm going to tie my knot. So I'm going to wrap it around my finger, make sure all four of the cords are together nice and tightly, and then I'm going to pull that knot down to my beads. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the two cords on the top here again, and then I have my two that want to go on the bottom, so I have two cords on the top, and that's where I'm going to start my bead, or grab the next bead and string it on. So Sally, if we want to say cord number 1 and cord number 2, that works. And then you're going to flip it over and you have cord number 3 and 4. And then so now I have cord number 4 and cord number 1 is what I'll be using, if assigning a number for each of these works for you. And then I'm going to turn this over, and this would be cord 2 and 3. But I don't know, numbers make my head hurt, so that's why I don't use numbers. Because I just don't work that way. You don't really need to worry about top or bottom cords. Like, you could even do it on the side. You just want to make sure you're grabbing the cord from your, when you have this here, you want to make sure you have these two little short side of the beads on the top. And then you're going to grab your cords and string those on. Then you're going to turn this over. You see you have the two short sides of the bead on the top. And you're going to add your next bead onto those two cords. And I'm going to push those down nice and tightly. And tie down. Yeah, I'm going to do it 2 more times, and so by the time you get to the end, hopefully it's very clear in your mind. So we're just alternating which beads were, which 2 cords we're grabbing. So I have the cord number 1 or 2 if you like numbers, or the top 2 cords if you run from numbers. So if this is cord number 1 and 2, I'm going to turn it over and we have cord 3 and 4. And I'm going to stick the super duo on those 2 cords. So if this is cord 3 and 4, I'm going to take cord 4 and cord 1, and that's where I'm going to put my bead on. So if that's cord 4 and 1, I'm going to turn this over, and this is going to be cord 2 and 3. And then I'll be back to cord 4 and 1. I'm going to turn it over, and this will be cord 2 and 3. Does that help more to have the cords numbered? Let me know, guys. Leave a comment. Does that clear up the pattern a little if you can call the cords 1 and 2, 3 and 4? Let me know, and I'll write up instructions for you guys. Okay. So I'm pushing those all down to get that little cluster nice and tight. And you're going to push that knot down. Okay, so now you're going to separate your cords again. So what do you guys think? Leave me a comment. Do you like the directions better if I say cord 1 and 2? Does that make it a little easier for you guys to visualize? Cord 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I guess that does make more sense. Okay, so cord 1 and 2 is what I'm working with. I'm going to put my super duo on. And I'm going I'm going to turn it over and I have cord 3 and 4. And I'm going to grab cord 4 and cord 1. Stick the next bead on those two. So cord 4 and cord 1. And I'm going to push that down. And I'm going to grab. So that was cord 1 and 4. I mean 4 and 1, and now I have cord 2 and 3. And now I'm in the back at cord 4 and 1. And I want to push that down. And now I'm on cord 2 and 3 again. Oh, Jill, you think I have steady hands? They were pretty shaky in the beginning. I was a little frazzled when I started. But beading is super meditative, isn't it, guys? And it creating just calms my heart rate right down. Okay, so I'm going to push those down nice and tight, get those clusters hugging together, all those little beads. You know, the super duos are made to nestle together, so I want to make sure they're nestled in there nice and tight. Wrap it around your finger and then pull the 4 cords together through the loop. Okay, now I am going to, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On my bracelet that I did, which is an 8-inch bracelet, I did 7 little clusters. And so if you want a 7-inch bracelet, you'll do 6 clusters. And each of these little clusters is a 1/2 inch, so you can kind of do the math to adjust. Yeah, however it works, guys. Top or bottom, cord 1, 2, 3, or 4. You just are alternating which 2 cords you're using each time to make those nestled together. So let's grab, oh, you know what? I forgot something. You're going to need an 8-inch jump ring too. And these are in the kit. I just forgot to put them over here. So you need an 8-inch jump ring and a little 5mm jump ring. So I'm at the center of my bracelet now, so I'm going to add the little 5mm jump ring to my charm. Oop, make sure I close that up nice and tight. Then I'm going to grab my head pin. Okay, put my bead on my head pin. Ooh. Oh no, did I freeze up here, guys? Can you see me? Okay. Ooh, have I froze up or am I still running? On my end, it's frozen up. If you guys could just let me know. I'm gonna wait just a second. Is my screen frozen? Yes or no? Let me know. It's hard to tell. And I'm not getting any comments or anything, so I feel like, what's going on here? Let's see where I'm at. Can you guys let me know if the video has frozen? That would be awesome. It feels like maybe I did freeze up. And I'm talking to myself, maybe. Oh, goodness. Hello, let me know if my video froze, you guys. Oh, this is so frustrating. I'm just waiting to hear from you guys. Hello? Okay. Alright, here we go. Ugh. My video was totally frozen. I don't know if it was this whole time for you guys or not, but I've just made a little simple loop there. I hope it wasn't frozen the whole time. It's so frustrating. Okay. See which way I had this. Alright, guys. Have I, okay, hopefully I'm not frozen now. So it does seem like I was frozen. Alright, guys. It's working now. Whew. It was my connection or something, because it totally froze up on me. Alright, good. Well, that was more excitement than we wanted, wasn't it? Okay, I'm going to slide my, I'm going to take the top two strands. So I'm going to separate these out and grab the top two strands again. The hole on these check glass beads, oh no, it will go through all four because we're using the 2-ply wax linen. I'm going to cut these all so that they're together. Okay. Alright, good. Seems like we're all back in business now. Okay, I'm going to twist these 4 cords together really tightly. So that it will go through my bead. Maybe. Oh, no, I did do it that way. Sorry, guys. We're going to grab the 2 top cords. Yeah, it's only going to go through 2 cords. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the 2 top cords, string it through, alright, maybe. I'm going to grab a different one. I felt like that hole was a little small. Okay, there we go. So I've gotten the 2 top cords here, stringing it all the way down. Pushing it all the way down. Then you're going to grab the 2 cords on the back, and you're just going to pull them up like that. And we're going to knot all 4 of these together. So you're just going to have 2 cords hanging out on the back of your flower. Now you want to open your jump ring and stick on your bird and your flower and close up your jump ring. And I'm going to slide these guys on here. And then I'm going to grab my house, and your house will go through all 4 cords. And I'm going to slide that down. So here I have my 2 little, my bird and my flower on there. And then I have my house, and then I'm going to do a knot at the top of the house. And then you will repeat the pattern on the other side. And now I have just a little teeny tiny sample here, and I'm going to show you guys how to attach the clasp. So I did use a little head pin and just did a simple loop with the flower. That was on the part that that froze up. I will show you guys that real quick, just in case you haven't done that and you need to see how it's done. So you'll stick your flower on the head pin, cut about a quarter of an inch, a half inch, no, a little less than half inch. You're gonna grab your round nose pliers and wrap that wire around your round nose pliers to make a little loop. Okay, and you'll add that to your jump ring with your little bird charm. And I have the little 5mm jump ring on the bird charm. Okay, so we're going to pretend this is the end of my bracelet. I'm going to separate the top and bottom cords again. Cut those off so they're the same. Okay. You're going to take 2 of the cords and run it through from back to front. And then you're going to take the other 2 cords and run it from the front to the back of the loop. So we have 2 cords going from the back to the front, and then 2 that are going to go from the front to the back. Just going to pull these 2 down a little so I can stick that through. And I'm going to pull my clasp down to the bottom, down to my last knot, and then now I'm going to tie a knot with the 2 ends here underneath. Just like that, just a regular knot. And now I'm going to take these 2 cords, well, the 2 sets of cords, wrap them around my knot, my center underneath the clasp, and tie it tightly. And I'm going to turn it over and do that again. And then what I did here, where's my last little, on each side I'm just going to grab my little spacer. Ooh, I'm 4 minutes over, guys. I'm almost done here. This is the last little bit. So I'm going to grab my spacer, strung it on the 2 cords, and then tie it nice and tight there. And then I'm going to leave just a little bit of the cord left. Okay, so that's all you're going to do on both of those sides to end your design. You can see I have them there. Okay, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will go through and answer them. Okay, hopefully that was clear. If it wasn't, just leave a comment and I will take care of you guys. And I will write up directions. I know I want to give you guys the 10 minutes to take a potty break, right? Or maybe I go until, oh well. Okay, whew, I'm done. I did it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm sorry if it was a little confusing. I thought it was clear working top to bottom, but if it wasn't, just imagine the cords 1, 2, 3, 4. I will write up instructions for you guys because I know that'll probably help just a little bit, and I'll have a few pictures to go with them so that will be a little clearer for you guys. Okay, if you do have questions though, leave it in the comment and I will be more than happy to go through those comments and help you guys. Oh, I do go until 1:15. Well, let's take a big deep breath then. I could have, well, no, I did everything I needed to do. The main thing is watch the clasp part 2 or 3 times at the end so that you you know, very clearly see how I did the knots. So basically you just intercross the two and tie it together underneath the clasp, and then you just go twice around your little knots to secure that cord at the butt at the end a little tighter. Okay, all right guys, okay, so I don't know if all the kits sold out, but if they did sell out, I have a little section that says treetop bracelet or treetop bracelet, and you can click on there and you can see all the different things. I have everything on the website that you can do to make your own kits. Okay, so for the treehouse kit, the one that says garden or spring, it's the one that has the teal and pinks and purples, like all the colors together. And I will even explain the part where you added the focal bead. So for the focal bead, let me just go back here real quick. I started with the flower, so I had my knot at the end, and with two of the cords I added the flower onto two of the cords, and you can see how the other two cords lay on the back there, and then I knotted them together. And then I took a head pin and put on the flower, and then I put a little 5mm jump ring on my bird, and then this is an 8mm jump ring right there that has both of those, and I just strung that on the design, and then I put the house bead on and then did a knot on top, and then you'll just repeat the pattern on the other side doing the little bead clusters, and you'll do the same amount of bead clusters on each side. Did that help? Hopefully. Okay, I will definitely I'll have the written directions tomorrow. It'll take me a little while to make sure I write it out nice and clearly for you guys and snap a few pictures so that you can see up close. And I know from last month that that you guys really do appreciate the written directions, which I don't usually do for my videos. And I do videos almost every Wednesday, and those I just have kits and you just watch the video. And so I will write up directions for you guys though, just to make sure it's super clear. The sizing, yes, so each of the little clusters are a 1/2 inch. So the bracelet that I have here in the project was 8 inches, and that was 7 clusters. So for a 6-inch bracelet you would need 5 clusters, and then you would add one more little cluster on to make it a 1/2 inch. And I would add the little extra cluster if you need an extra 1/2 inch. Add the little cluster on the extra cluster on the side with the bar so that it falls a little more evenly, because you can see if you add a little cluster on this side to give yourself a 1/2 inch, that will help. And so the Bead Table Wednesdays are every 2 o'clock on every Wednesday, and then 8 inches with 7 clusters, 6 inches would be for 7 inches, and then 5 clusters would be if you want a 6-inch bracelet. And I'll have those written on the directions for you guys. Okay, all right, Sue, you need to pull out those super duos and do this. I also think this would be really cute to do with a little earring, and I'm going to whip that up and I'll share with that in the group for you guys so you can see a little variation with an earring. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and shopping with me. In case you don't know, Humblebeads is our family-owned business with me and my husband, and I'm a polymer clay bead maker, author, and jewelry designer, and most of our handmade pieces are polymer clay, and then we also do component pieces. Nancy, we're not going to do any more kits because we're just they're just limited because I'm like already ready to move on to the next thing. So that's why I offered all the great little bead mixes for you guys. And then if you, oh, I forgot to tell you guys about my Humblebeads VIP party group. Just search that in Facebook and join my Humblebeads VIP party group. I always share lots of inspiration and things with you guys in there. And I put the little picture in there with which little bead mixes matched. And you can also, when you go on the website and you click on the bead mixes, it has a little house that matches on there too. So 2 o'clock on Wednesdays for the Bead Table Wednesday, and that's on my Humblebeads Facebook page. So make sure you like and subscribe to that. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to let you go, and we'll be tuning in to watch Green Girls Studios with Cynthia Thornton up next. Cynthia and Azalea, they are just a creative, dynamic duo, and we'll look forward to seeing them. And then also run over, I'm sure you guys have already done this, but run over to the Great Bead Extravaganza group to sign up for the giveaway. And so that is all I have to say for today. Vicki, about the retreat, we're going to make an announcement later this week. I can't say anything right now, so we'll have that in the group first. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have a great day. Enjoy watching Cynthia and the rest of the super team. And then that's all I want to say. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.